about the different philosophies of education. Here with us are the teachers who will share with us their knowledge and expertise about the different philosophies of education. Let us welcome Teacher Nani to discuss with us naturalism. Idealism will be discussed by Sir Francis. Pragmatism will be discussed by Ma'am Mina. Teacher Tess will talk about realism. Teacher Pat will talk about perennialism. And existentialism will be tackled by Teacher Chat. Let us proceed to the question and answer part. Okay, teachers, can you tell something about your chosen philosophy, including its meaning and nature? Shall we start with you, Teacher Nani?
Thank you. I stand for the philosophy of naturalism. It is opposed to the philosophy of idealism in its interpretation of reality. When we say naturalism, it concerns with natural self or the real self. It contains that the ultimate reality is matter and not the mind or the spirit. Naturalism does not believe in spiritualism. It denies the existence of the spirit, of universe, the universe of ideas in values. For them, the material world is the only real world. It is the only reality. For them, nature is the whole reality. Naturalism believes that the mind is an accident in the process of evolution, and it can be explained in terms of nature. Mind is not the source of all knowledge, but the senses is the gateway of all knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher Nani. How about you, Sir Francis?
I stand for idealism. Idealism opposes the naturalism. Idealism is the conclusion that the universe is expression of intelligence and will. That the enduring substance of the world is the nature of the mind. That the nature explained by the mental. The idealist feels that with the growth of time, moral character, as well as personal reflection, wisdom is gained. Thank you.
Well said, Sir Francis. Any additional information, Mamina?
My philosophy is pragmatism. It is one of the most important school of philosophy of education. Its origin can be traced from the sophist philosophers of ancient Greece who held that man is the measure of all things. The term pragmatism derives its origin from the Greek word meaning to do, to make, to accomplish. So the use of words like action, practice, and activity. Action gets priority over thought. Experience is the center of the universe. Everyone is tested on the touchstone of experience. Beliefs and ideas are true if they are workable and profitable, otherwise false. So values are instrumental only. There is no final or fixed values.
Wow, thank you, Mamina. How about you, Teacher Tess?
Well, realism is the oldest philosophy in Western culture, dating ancient Greece. It is also a counter preposition of idealism, which was reported by Sir Javier. And here in realism, science is important as well as the scientific matter. Now, the purpose of realism here is to develop potential of existence, which means real objects and real things. Now, the concern for realism is that what is on the learner. And so, education here is an inquiry-based lesson.
Wow, thank you, Teacher Tess. How about you, Teacher Pat?
I go with perennialism. So perennialism is based on the philosophy of Aristotle, St. Thomas Aquinas, and Plato. It is an educational theory that is greatly influenced by the principles of realism. Actually, perennialism is an educational philosophy of the neo-rationalists, meaning they are the ones who wish to teach students how to think and reason out. It focuses on ideas of Western civilization, arts, history, and great books. Perennialism suggests that the focus of education should be the ideas that lasted over centuries. They believe that the ideas are as relevant and meaningful today as when they were written. That's it.
Thank you, Teacher Pat. How about you, Teacher Cha?
I'm a believer of existentialism. So actually, existentialism started after the World War II when the existential writers started to think about human beings. So instead of focusing on society's expectations of humans or as a person, they aim to explore meanings on the individuals created for themselves. So what is existentialism? So existentialism is a philosophical perspective that focuses on the experiences of individuals and how they understand the world. So the follower of this philosophy believes that man can learn through the experience. So additional, existentialism is extreme individualism. So each person is free to make choices, and these choices and the result of these choices will determine what kind of person will they be. So why? Because existentialist believes that man has no fixed nature, and they shape their being by the choices they make when they are choosing it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for the insight shared about the different philosophies of education. Okay, this time, can you cite the specific curriculum, the methods of instruction, and the discipline used in your chosen philosophy? Let's start with you, Ms. Nan.
Yes. When we say naturalism, the contribution of naturalism in our curriculum is the natural sciences, such as the zoology, biology, botany, and physics, and other natural sciences. Naturalism do not advocate that traditional way of teaching, or what we call the teacher-centered. It is a child-centered. They are emphasized much in learning experience of the child. The more senses involved in learning, the more learning takes place in this curriculum and this philosophy.
Thank you. How about you, Sir Francis?
Idealism believes in the development of the child in a holistic perspective. In that sense, it opposes again the naturalism. So because it believes that the teacher should be the role model. In that sense, the teacher should be the center of learners and learning process. So the curriculum here emphasizes the subjects philosophy, literature, religion, history, and it believes that those subjects are the one who can develop the students or the learners in the holistic way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nina.
Okay. In pragmatism, only activities, experiences, and subjects should be included in the curriculum which are useful to the needs of the students and also meet the future expectations of their adult life. The whole emphasis of method of teaching in pragmatism is on the child, not the book, not the teacher, nor the subject. It favors project method, which consider it active and dynamic. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher Tess.
The curriculum in realism is that it doesn't not only explain our knowledge but also teach us how to survive in this society. Now, since it is performance-based, it should be systematic and organized and in natural order. Now, it is also practical and very useful because since it is highly organized, it is systematic. They use also pictures. Now, they use objects just like what Maria Montessori introduced, just like in realism.
Thank you, Teacher Pat.
In perennialism, it is a teacher-centered philosophy in which it is the responsibility of the teacher to ensure that the students gain cultural literacy and learn about the greatest achievements in the given fields. Perennialists believe that this can be achieved by teachers through guiding the students in debate like this and in evaluating their knowledge through testing. Perennialism should be taught first in educational instruction because it has a long-lasting effect in the learner.
Thank you. Teacher Cha.
In existential curriculum, it is focused on individual and its relationship. It can be a relationship between the learners, it can be a relationship between the teacher and the learner, and also it can be a relationship between a learner and a historic individual, which can be their model. So one type of curriculum is what we call the John Hall's open curriculum or open classroom, which is less structured, learning is flexible and dynamic, so the atmosphere is open, rules are reduced, self-initiated, and self-directed. Thank you.
Thank you for that very informative discussion about the methods, discipline, and the curriculum of your chosen philosophies of education. At this point, can you share with us the contribution of your chosen philosophy to the K-12 program? Yes, Ms. Tan.
Okay, the K-12 program is aimed to develop a lifelong learners. And so, the naturalists focus on the integrated growth of the child. It is a child-centered. Then, it secured freedom for the child and has further succeeded in freeing the child from a tyranny of rigidity, interference, and strict discipline inside the classroom. Play-based approach, sense of training, self-discipline, and learning by doing are the contribution of naturalism to achieve the success of the K-12 in our country today.
Okay, since idealism supports the idea that the child should be developed holistically, so in K-12 program, after they graduated, after they finish grade 12, for example, they are ready to work. In that sense, if they are developed holistically, therefore, they can face the world in a great sense. They consider, develop their character, they are ready to work, and all the disciplines should be in their integrated or embedded on their curriculum. Thank you.
Teacher Nani said that K-12 aim to develop lifelong learners. So pragmatism is the answer. It provides definite aims of education. The teaching methods are based on learning by doing. It encourages a democratic way of learning through purposeful and cooperative projects and activities. Utility in the educative process is the first criterion. Education is not bound to tradition. The teacher has to play a very challenging role in the educative process under pragmatism, and he has to be very alert and watchful.
Now for realism, since it emphasizes on critical reasoning through observation, remember that John Locke, he said that the children is a blank slate. Now, the teachers provide information, and that through that information, learning is based on facts, analysis, and question. Now, they develop the children to think critically. Now, with the progressive schools nowadays, there are mastery of recitation, experiments, demonstrations, and drills and exercises. With that, the children were able to think critically.
So by holding on to the principles of perennialism, we are actually preparing our children to be globally competitive and efficient learners. Learners who are ready to face the 21st century challenges, because one of the several reasons why we adapted K-12 is primarily to make Filipino learners efficient. That's it.
Existentialism is student-centered in nature. So, and I think that is what K-12 is doing right now. So, teacher, just like us, only serve as facilitator, and the students are given responsibility to explore and experience learning. So, output is expected from the students, and that, and for me, that is the contribution of existentialism for the K-12 education. Thank you.
Thank you. So we gained new insights and new perspectives in today's discussion. Thank you very much for coming and for sharing your time with us. Thank you everyone for watching the show, and see you again on our next episodes. Good night.